Mr. McNamara, I believe, is online. Are we online? We don't.
Can you guys all hear me?
Yeah, hold on 1 second, Mr. McNamara. Oh, yep, you're on. Go ahead. Continue.
Hey, Colin McNamara, 47 Grandview Street. I'm not very prepared, so we're winging it. We'll start off with some good news. Connecticut has been recently upgraded from the 50th spot to the 49th in fiscal health. And you know it's true because they put it in the East Hartford Gazette. This is from the Truth in Accounting. But we do still maintain an F rating according to our fiscal health. And each one of our taxpayers is responsible for $52,000 of outstanding debt. We recently paid down a couple $1 billion from our pension funds through the COVID bucks, which the state was allowed to do, but the towns weren't. And we're just continuing the shell game that is the current politics and fiscal responsibility in our state of delaying the inevitable, which is insolvency. Record high gas prices and energy prices are expected to hit New England. This is from the CT Examiner because our imported gas is not being allowed to come to America anymore. And we've cut off all of our domestic production, which is a treat. So it seems like it's a perfect time because they say, according to MSN, we only have a 25-day supply of diesel. It might be the perfect opportunity that we should seize upon to just eliminate gas, maybe ban it in Connecticut. I know the electric fleet that is being proposed for town by maybe the Sustainability Commission isn't that popular. But here we have this Connecticut Transit bus burning to the ground that was electric because the firefighters were unable to douse the flames. But we need to move toward progress and go toward this type of future with burning lithium gases and salts in the air for our kids to breathe. I took the government academy class. We talked to the fire department in town, and they said that the average car fire is 400 to 800 gallons to extinguish, but the average electric car could be 10 to 40,000 gallons to extinguish, and then it can reignite. So we should definitely scrap our use of oil and gas and switch to electric. So this is an article from the CT Insider saying that 16 Connecticut legislators have joined a far-right group on Facebook. Now, it's written by Ken Dixon, and it's very indicative because it mentions a group called Open CT Now, which advocates for like vaccine choice and not censoring people. And it's funny because the author never contacted the administrator of this group. It's got 7,000 members because it's me. I'm the administrator of the group. But it didn't stop, in this vein, Governor Lamont created a $150,000 a year position to police social media content, misinformation. And I challenge anybody to tell me in history when the censors have been on the right side of things. They're always censoring information they don't want you to know about because it would change your decision-making. And that's what we're living in. We're living in a time when there's complete censorship, more so than the Soviet Union or Nazi Germany, because all you need is an algorithm and a keyword, and they'll silence you right off the internet. It's awesome. So Mr. Stringfellow is always talking about now when I live in a police state. Like, we're already here, bro. We've been here for 20 years since 9/11. Welcome to the party. So circling back to the governor, it's the article from the New London Day. It says pandemic profits linked to Connecticut's first couple, which is interesting. You don't want to have these disaster capitalists that are called. But, our governor's yearly income is usually around $12 million a year. And this year he got $54 million because he awarded his wife, her company, Team of Four, a no-bid contract to do all the state's COVID testing. And it's just indicative of, the Connecticut Democrats are completely silent on this complete flagrant abuse of power because there's just a will to power to always control the position. And they're not going to call out their own for embezzling a bunch of money, even if it is technically legal. You're still capitalizing on people's suffering, and you're causing a lot of distress among the residents. It's not appropriate. Hey, I don't know. So Mr. Catlett, our health director, isn't around so much because he's kind of stepping aside. But the Senate just came out with a report that says Wuhan most likely came from a lab. This is our U.S. Senate. But it was a conspiracy theory for 2 years, but they're saying the likely source is from the lab, probably by our own NHS funded, which is a treat. Thank you, Dr. Fauci. I remember Director Poland saying that she wanted to have a preferential treatment for somebody who spoke Spanish for a social service position. And I think when we seek out a new health director, we should preferentially find somebody who focuses on health, diet, nutrition as a way to increase your immune system, and maybe somebody who isn't, pardon the scientific term, morbidly obese. We should be able to lead by example and not just read PowerPoint presentations. Last thing, the CT Dems are going to mandate a CD vaccine.
Mr. McNamara. Mr. McNamara. Mr. McNamara.
And Matt Ritter says he's going to mandate it.
Mr. McNamara, your time is up. Your time's up. And please, personal insults, please, in the future, keep them to yourself. Thank you. Bob Kilpatrick. Mr.
Colin McNamara, 47 Grandview Street. Item B1, Rise in Innovation Grant, to be funded by the Dalio Foundation to support educators in preparing students for college, career, and life successes. $208,000. So Ray Dalio is the manager of, or maybe the manager of the Dalio Foundation. He's the head of Bridgewater Associates, with the largest hedge fund in the world. And I don't know, he's a very outspoken individual, and he's actually been predicting possibly a civil war in a February 3rd article from this year. And he's also saying that capitalism is basically not working for the majority of people, and that there needs to be like a restructuring of it. So he's promoting stakeholder capitalism with ESGs and promoting public-private partnerships. He also just came out with an article this month, October 12th, where he called the United States economic policies ridiculously stupid and was headed toward a perfect storm for economic pain. And I'd just be curious how this money will be spent and what kind of a curriculum or literature materials they'd be promoting to the educators in the execution of this funding. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Stringfellow.